When the aging patriarch of a rich family built on a publishing empire is found dead in his study of mysterious circumstances that point to suicide, but maybe not, private investigator Benoit Blanc is called in to make his definitive analysis of this scene and determine whether or not there was foul play afoot. In this groundbreaking whodunit from writer-director Ryan Johnson, Knives Out, 2019's best, mystery.
Yeah.
A film that didn't really surprise me, like in its quality, but certainly I found enjoyable. And this is going to be a surefire rewatch for me for a long time.
For sure. It's, something that'll be in the stream of consciousness for forever.
It's a film we wanted to do last fall, but we're unable to get to it. And we are now doing it as our connector to Velvet Buzzsaw.
Yes.
Using Toni Collette and the theme of terrible people as a thread. And let's get into it. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
I'm Austin Johnson.
Welcome to Filmgazm. Knives Out. I saw it at the movies in November. Thought it was great. And you regrettably didn't get a chance to see it at the movies.
No, I streamed it at home. Watched it, Watched it at home. Yeah.
But still a great watch. I bought it immediately.
Sure.
Yeah. And rewatching it, I was like, this is brilliant. It's such a classic feel. It feels like, Murder on the Orient Express or one of these, whodunits. One of those Agatha Christie things.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson is a lot like Shane Black to me. Great with his own stuff. Just do not give him a franchise. Like, we were talking before we started recording that I associate Ryan Johnson with the beginning of my decline of interest in Star Wars. And then that sucks. He did The Last Jedi, and it was met to some divisive feedback on that one. Critically successful, financially successful. The fans fucking hated it.
Yeah.
And because of that movie, JJ had to overcompensate with The Rise of Skywalker and just turned it into this big old Star Wars greatest hits movie that just didn't work. And now here we are.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah. But if Ryan Johnson keeps making movies like this, he'll gain my respect eventually.
Yeah.
As long as, he doesn't get to do any more fucking Star Wars.
Oh, I don't think he is, man. I think he's done.
Last I heard, they gave him a trilogy. Did he back out of that?
I don't know, man. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, so I don't pay attention.
Yeah. You're lucky.
Yeah.
I love a lot of the movies, but...
Or just smart.
Touché. I love a lot of the movies, but, dude, it's kind of a bitch to be involved in this.
Yeah.
Like...
No, I obviously have plenty of friends who are huge fans, including you.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
You're disappointed more than you're excited.
Yeah, that's just should not be the case.
Star Wars is...
Well, you look at what Marvel's done. It's like, come on, man.
Star Wars is kind of like a weekend dad. Like, when you're with him, you love it, you're having a great time, but then, you start to realize why exactly he's not around all the time. Yeah, Star Wars is my weekend dad.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that was perfect.
So, Knives Out has an IMDb score of 8.0, Rotten Tomatoes score of 97%. It's a huge success, grossing $312 million on a budget of $40 million.
Woo!
There's already a sequel in development following Daniel Craig's Southern Fried detective Benoit Blanc. Let's start with him. Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Famous for playing James Bond in what will be 5 movies.
Yes.
And arguably the best to do it to a lot of people.
Yeah, possibly.
And outside of that, I fucking love him in Road to Perdition.
Oh, man.
He was great in Defiance.
Yes.
And the guy just... He's a really good actor, and I really hope people realize this after he's done with Bond.
Yeah. I think Knives Out is a huge example of that. I think he's going to be okay. I think he knows how to make good choices. I also love 2011 Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I think he's worked with some cool people.
Very true.
And oh man, go back to Road to Perdition. Underrated as hell,
Connor Rooney.
dude.
Ugh, what a monster.
People need to see that movie. Yeah, it is great. I'm a big fan of his, and I'm definitely going to be keen on seeing, like you said, post Bond. What his post Bond life is going to be like.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
it's funny because I would have thought he's threatened to quit Bond every single movie.
Yeah, since 2006.
They keep dragging him back. It's funny, except now No Time to Die will be the last one.
This is it. Yeah,
which is good. It's time to let somebody else step into the Bond shoes.
agreed.
5's a good solid number. You don't want to Roger Moore yourself.
Well, and over like a 15-year stint too. So yeah,
Shit.
yeah, 2006. So yeah, 14-year.
Wow.
Gallop.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel it at
No,
all.
it doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't feel like we were 11 when that first started.
Damn.
Eek.
Shame he peaked so early, man. Casino Royale is such a flawless movie.
It's my favorite one. Yeah.
Yeah, mine too,
I don't see
probably.
it being beat unless this last one is just perfect.
It could be.
Because Casino Royale is like a perfect thriller. It's like a great like mystery almost. It's just got everything.
It's a great origin story
got
for James
everything
Bond.
you want. Yeah. And Daniel Craig is stellar in it.
Not bad for a character that everyone thought he was going to fuck up.
Yep.
Then we've got Ana de Armas as Marta Cabrera, the nurse to Christopher Plummer's Harlan Thrombey, the woman who gets everything. And probably my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah.
The will reading.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But Ana de Armas came up quickly. Like she was kind of nowhere and then she was everywhere.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden nominated for stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think she's great in this. She does such a great job.
She's stellar. Yeah.
Did you ever see Knock Knock?
No, I haven't yet.
It's a weird movie, but she's in that. That was the first time I saw her, and ever since then I've had a massive crush on Ana de Armas, and you'll know why when you see the movie.
Yeah. 2017's Blade Runner. She's in.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, gorgeous in that as well. She's a very, very, very pretty lady.
I think she's set to play Marilyn Monroe,
Whoa.
which will be interesting considering she's Cuban. But
Yeah, and has like dark brown hair.
I'm
So
wondering
they
how
have
they're going to
change
get
that
around
up.
the accent. That's going to be
And her
interesting.
eyes look nothing like Marilyn. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. Let's see it.
I don't know. Chris Evans plays Ransom Drysdale, grandson to Harlan Thrombey, and a real piece of shit.
Yep.
Chris Evans, of course, is Captain America. That's his big role.
Rages.
He's fucking great as Steve Rogers, the Boy Scout who slowly realizes that it's not all black and white.
He gets better and better and better as
He really does.
as the MCU goes on.
The arc he goes on is a fucking roller coaster, and I love it.
Yeah, I would never have thought like the first Captain America, and then from that like the transformation from like just quality of movie and acting from him to like Civil War is crazy. It's amazing.
In 2011, after watching Captain America: The First Avenger, if you told me that 8 years later I'm gonna get to see Captain America stand up to Thanos while holding Thor's hammer, I would have called you insane.
Yeah,
And now here we are,
totally.
and I look back on that with such pride and happiness, man. Love Chris Evans.
Me too.
Love him in Snowpiercer.
Oh my god,
That is such a ride of a movie.
brilliant movie.
Chris Evans. Yeah. Another guy who I think is going to have great success after playing, because he's done with Captain America now.
Oh yeah,
And I just see great things for him in the future.
so do I.
And let's get into the, I don't want to say minor characters, but the next tier, I guess. Jamie Lee Curtis as Linda Drysdale, Harlan Thrombey's daughter, I believe.
Yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis is fucking awesome. She's a screen legend.
Yeah.
Daughter to Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. So she's Hollywood royalty.
Yes.
We talked about her at length in the Halloween episode we did.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, she's just a genuine, awesome actress who just fucking rocks. And she's hilarious in this.
I know. I love seeing her do stuff like this, man.
Such an
Great.
arrogant, trust fund bitch.
Yeah.
I love it. Michael Shannon plays Walt Thrombey, Harlan's youngest son. Michael Shannon, an Oscar nominee, been nominated for 2008's Revolutionary Road and 2016's Nocturnal Animals.
Yes.
I fucking love Michael Shannon. He
Me
is
too.
such a presence. Mm-hmm. Dude's strong. He's a great Zod.
Oh yeah.
He's the best part about Man of Steel.
Yeah, I agree. And I adore him. In Nocturnal Animals. My gosh.
That's a rough movie.
Have you seen 99 Homes?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Underrated as hell.
He was such a horrible person in that movie.
He's great in that. He is the only part of Shape of Water that I really like still. Yeah, Michael Shannon's the man.
Dude, that part when he rips his fingers
Boardwalk
off.
Empire? I mean, fuck. You know, yeah, he's done on
Nelson
TV.
Van Alden. Oh, I forgot about him.
Love Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, that fucking monster.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
I never finished Boardwalk Empire. I really want to.
So good.
I remember that scene where he like drowns his partner in the baptism.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Pretty
No pun
badass,
intended.
man.
Don Johnson plays Richard Drysdale, Harlan's son-in-law, I want to say.
Yeah.
And he might be the worst one.
Yeah, he's the most annoying.
Yeah, he's having an affair, and that's what Harlan cut him off for. Don Johnson was he's big in the 80s with Miami Vice, and he's had a hell of a career resurgence ever since Machete in 2010.
Yes.
And I love it. I love Don Johnson.
Yeah, bring it on, man. He's great at this kind of shit.
Yeah. And who the fuck is he? Like just
That's like my favorite bit when everybody just finally brings that up. It's great.
How was the party? Oh, pre my dad's death? Oh, it was great. Dry delivery, man. This movie's brilliant. Toni Collette plays Joni Thromby, Harlan's daughter-in-law? Daughter?
Yeah, that sounds right.
A little tough to follow with all the characters.
There's a lot.
And-
Big family tree here.
We talk about Toni Collette all the time. She comes up in Filmgazm.
Yeah, sorry, she's
constantly.
daughter-in-law because her husband passed away.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and she just kind of hangs out.
Yeah, she's a leech, straight up.
Tony, man. Oh,
Yeah, she's double dipping into his bank account.
I love that. They show like flashbacks of her and she's like dancing around. They're totally like ignoring her.
She's trying to get Jamie Lee Curtis to come up.
yeah.
And just
Just get the fuck out of here. What are you doing here? So good.
Lakeith Stanfield plays Lieutenant Elliot, the cop who's Benoit Blanc brings in to help him out. Another guy who's had a hell of a couple of years.
Jesus.
Came up really fast.
No kidding.
And what are some of your favorite Lakeith Stanfield performances?
My favorite thing he's done will always be Atlanta, the TV show on FX. He's Darius in that show, but then of course Get Out and Uncut Gems. I mean, he kind of can do anything.
He has such an underrated, powerful performance in Get Out.
Oh my gosh!
Just
I mean,
the look.
that's the best scene to me. And the beginning of that movie is brilliant when he's like in that like supposedly white neighborhood.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this motherfucker. He's just
The subversion, I love it.
everything he embodied. Yeah, he's so fucking cool. Lakeith is.
Sorry to Bother You was such a strange movie,
I mean, that's his movie.
but he did such a great job.
Yeah. I love that movie.
You could never explain that movie to anybody.
No.
My cousin watched it, and
Check it out.
He posted a weird Instagram post where he was like, he came all the way up, and he lost who he was, and my whole family was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" I asked him. He's like, "Oh, I watched Sorry to Bother You," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense then."
Yeah.
Don't get cryptic on social media. The family is going to ask questions.
You're too young.
Kids like what, 14?
Just wait a few years. Man, Sorry to Bother You would have blown my mind if I watched it when I was 14.
Jesus.
Jeez Louise.
All my cousins are starting to get a little older, so they're starting to check out more movies.
Yeah.
Thank God. Yeah.
Thank God I was getting sick of the same.
Well, I introduced my other cousin Ryan to the Terminator franchise, and he fucking loved it.
Yeah.
We've watched one.
How old is he? 17?
He's 18 now.
18. Well, yeah, I mean 18.
We watched 1, 2,
Prime time.
1, 2, and Dark Fate,
Nice.
and he loved them.
Yeah. That's great.
Then we got Christopher Plummer as Harlan Thrombey, writer extraordinaire, the king of the crime novel. Christopher Plummer won his Oscar in 2010 for the film Beginners. He's also been nominated for The Last Station and All the Money in the World. Took him 5 decades of work to finally get an Oscar nomination.
And then he got a bunch, yeah.
Yeah, then he just kept getting them. I loved him in All the Money in the World.
Oh, dude.
For a role that was replaced and filmed so quickly, he did such a great job.
Yeah, yeah.
Christopher Plummer, great actor.
Fantastic.
Legendary
Again,
performer.
another guy. All these people have such a presence.
They do. This cast is insane.
Yeah. I remember the trailer. I was just like, oh, I'm in.
Yeah, the second I watched this, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
How do you get all these people?
I think we were seeing a film together, and we were like at a theater, and you looked at each other like, dude, Toni Collette and Jamie Lee Curtis? Whoa. The two best horror movies from 2018, those two ladies are in the same movie.
I miss that feeling. I can't wait till the movie theaters open back up.
I know, man. Isn't it so much fun?
I feel like a piece of my life is missing right now.
Oh, for sure.
I don't like
Especially since, like, you know, as lame as this sounds, probably a broken record at this point. It's just like, you know, you go to the theater because that's your place of solitude. And when that gets taken away from you, you're like, oh, man.
my happy place.
You're like, that's why I went to escape from reality. And now the reality is that those places are shut down. It's just sad. It's sad to swallow.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Well, let's get happy. Let's get into this plot.
Let's talk
this
about
crazy ass
some
plot.
Knives Out. So, wealthy crime novelist Harlan Thornbay, is Christopher Plummer, our man, he invites his extended family to his remote mansion on his 85th birthday to deliver important, though disappointing news to a number of family members. The next morning, however, Harlan's housekeeper, Fran, finds him dead in his study room.
You know,
Very much like Clue.
yeah. In the
In the study!
Harlan in the study with a knife. But you know, it's not a very good idea to cut off all of your family members in the same night. Probably not a good idea.
Probably not.
I want to space that shit out.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't. Yeah.
Maybe just don't and just wait till the will.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're just asking for trouble.
That's what he was, you know,
Yeah.
stirring shit up.
Well, he liked to. I mean, he was all about games.
Yes, games very, very much so.
Honestly, when I saw this the first time, I thought the movie was going to end with, like, he's really alive and it's a
Yeah,
test.
yeah. I did too for a minute. Yeah. None of you passed. You're all assholes. Oh, man. The police, along with the experienced private eye, Benoit Blanc, are called in to investigate. Throughout a series of interviews with each of the family members, secrets are revealed as well as possible motives for the murder.
Oh, I love those.
It's brilliant. And it's a good chunk of the film. You
Yeah.
really, it's a great introduction to everyone. There's names next to them even, you know? You really are just, here's the players. Let's get in this monster. While at the same time revealing tons of shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. It's really genius. So, Richard, Harlan's son-in-law, was discovered to have cheated on his wife, Linda.
Yep.
Richard is Don Johnson.
Don Johnson.
Miami Vice legend. Harlan's daughter, with Harlan threatening to expose him. Joni, Harlan's daughter-in-law, Tony.
Yep.
That's great. I hope they chose that on purpose.
I bet they did.
Wife of his deceased son, Neil, was exposed by Harlan after she stole $400,000 from him by sourcing duplicate checks meant for her daughter, Megan.
How long did she think she was going to get away with that?
I don't know, dude.
Jesus.
That is rough. But her character, Toni Collette, why is she so good at everything? Why is she so believable at being this? And it goes hand in hand with the Velvet Buzzsaw performance. Like, why? Why is she so good at this horrible piece of shit character? I don't understand. I don't understand how she's so believable at it. And then she can play fucking Annie from Hereditary. You know, I don't get it. Like, she's crazy.
She's just such a great actress.
She dissolves. Yeah, I don't understand her, man.
No, one thing I realized, Velvet Buzzsaw is the only time I've seen her where she didn't play a mom.
Yeah.
It's like the only time.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, yeah, About a Boy, Little Miss Sunshine. She's just such an awesome mom.
Yeah, even in this, she's a terrible fucking mom in this, but she's still a mom.
She's a mom, nonetheless. Little Miss Sunshine, man. Oh, boy.
It's a great. We got to figure out a way to do that someday.
Well, that definitely would have been the choice had we done Knives Out back in the fall.
Yes, exactly,
But,
yes.
yeah, I know this is dear to my heart. Little Miss Sunshine is. I know it's dear to your grandmother, right?
Well, she made me watch it for the first time, and I absolutely adore it.
It's amazing. It's fantastic. Another great ensemble.
For sure. One little thing I love about the characters in this that just shows you at their core how big of a piece of shit they are is the way they talk about Marta.
Yes.
The way they all say her family's from a different country.
Yeah.
You know, families from Ecuador, families from Uruguay, families from Mexico.
Venezuela, Paraguay, yeah.
Just pick a South American country. And, like, there's that one scene where Don Johnson and Toni Collette are talking about immigration. And Don Johnson is arguing that, like, Marta came here legally. She's part of the family as he's handing her his plate.
Yeah.
What a fuck.
Jesus H.
Little things like that are brilliant bits of character development.
Yeah.
Peppered throughout this whole movie.
Yeah, and that's nonstop. You get more of that as it goes. It's great. So then we talk to Walter, which is the youngest. We talk Michael Shannon.
Walt.
Ah, man. And we learned that he was fired from his father's publishing company during the birthday party, right?
Yeah.
So Ransom, Linda, and Richard's son had discovered he'd been cut out of the will entirely. It's not the best news there.
Well, Walt he's been kind of just riding his dad's coattails for years.
Yeah.
And now he's not. So if anybody, he's got the strongest motive.
I agree. On paper at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Especially when you see that scene when he's like kind of getting into it with his dad.
Yeah.
And his dad's like, no, like we're not adapting any, like these are my stories,
All the
Good boy.
Yeah. All of the family members like immediately start talking shit about one another.
Yeah.
During the interviews.
Yeah.
Like get a little Irish courage.
He said that about me? Yeah.
What? Richard said what?
It is great, man.
Ugh.
It is then revealed that after the party, Harlan's caretaker, Marta Cabrera, which is Ana de Armas, took Harlan upstairs to give him his nightly medication. After beginning to play a game of Go, Harlan jokingly knocked the board off the table before Marta could give him his medication. Marta picked up the bottles and ejected him, but realized that she actually gave him 100 milligrams of morphine.
Oh, such a heartbreaking scene.
Christ.
Especially knowing what you know later.
Ugh.
Oh, boy.
Christ. To protect his friend, Harlan gave her strict instructions on how to escape and avoid suspicion before slitting his own throat, leaving Marta shocked.
What a powerful relationship.
No kidding.
I mean, you gotta...
Talk about character development.
You gotta really love somebody to do that. Like, to sacrifice yourself to make sure they don't go to jail.
Yeah.
God damn.
Slit your own throat?
I don't know if I could do that.
No.
Jesus.
That's a ridiculous action.
But I love this scene because it explains, later on why he leaves everything to her.
Yeah.
Because she's the only person in his life who, A, treats him like a person, B, is a good person, C, wants nothing from him.
Exactly. That's definitely the main thing. It's like I want nothing from you. Yeah. Other than I'm just here.
All of his family are just waiting for him to die.
Oh God. Jesus. So Marta drives away, parks her car, returns to the house through the gate entrance before climbing up on the side of the house and wearing Harlan's coat and hat to confuse Walter and his peripheral vision, who had seen Marta leave, ruling her out as a suspect.
Well thought out.
Boy, oh boy. That is some good shit in this movie, too. At this point, the first time I saw this, I was just kind of like,
I was in.
I'm thrown for a loop here,
Well, Harlan thinks all of this up in less than 10 minutes because he thinks there's a ticking clock here.
He's a genius, man.
Ugh.
He's written all these books.
I want to read some of those books.
I know, dude. I know. So the police do question Martha as she is a trustworthy source due to her inability to lie without vomiting. But she makes it through her interrogation without fail. Suspecting foul play, Blanc is determined to find the truth and the true cause of death. Ah, man, Blanc.
And he doesn't know who hired him.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
A newspaper article and an envelope of money was slipped under his door.
Yeah.
Such a Poirot moment,
Again, this is, you brought up earlier, very Agatha Christie type, just suspense, classic suspense.
We don't get these anymore. There are no whodunits anymore.
And when we do get them, it's Kenneth Branagh's Murder on the Express, and it's just not what you totally want.
It's okay.
You need more originality, which is what Knives Out is.
Yeah.
It's great. This is definitely a movie I feel like I don't want to say needed, but it's one that was necessary because there hasn't been one like it in pop culture in a long time.
That's why it was such a success, because
Yeah.
people were like, oh, what's this?
Yeah, I don't think people quite realize how many people liked Clue, that sort of style.
It definitely feels like Clue.
When Knives Out came out, I heard a lot of people, including yourself and one of my really good friends, Andrew, were like, dude, I love Clue, so I'm going to love Knives Out, I'm going to go check it out. And that's awesome, to for films to kind of repeat those tropes, but in new ways, new ideas.
Oh, for sure.
New actors. It's great. It's fun.
Speaking of, Clue is in the book of Filmgazm.
Oh, God. That'll be great.
One day.
That'll be fantastic. The next day, Blanc, along with Marta and the police, search the house and its surroundings for clues, many of which Marta is able to cover up before the detectives can even find them. Since it is the day of Harlan's will reading, the family anxiously awaits the reveal and are shocked to hear that Harlan left everything to Marta, like Connor was saying, including his inheritance, the house, and his company. Come on!
Fuck all of you guys. But before that, we meet Ransom.
Yes.
He shows up. Walt points out, you missed the funeral, but you're early for the will reading.
Oh, Chris Evans.
He plays such a prick. I love it. He shows up in like this big white sweater.
It's perfect.
His New England dickhead sweater.
Oh yeah, Chris Evans. I love a guy who can play to his stereotypes.
Oh yeah.
I'm a good-looking guy. I can definitely play a douchebag. I'm going to do it really funny. I love when guys do that. I think someone who has like refreshingly done it is Channing Tatum.
Yes.
He's like put himself into like stupid ass roles like 21 Jump Street and be like, I'll be that guy. I love that. Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Perfect way to do it. And I think this is just right up that same alley. Like, I love when guys are able to do that. You know, that vulnerability, but at the same time, you want this. you want me to be a dickhead. Oh, it's awesome, dude. Ransom is great.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character?
My favorite character.
As we're talking about them, I'm like, God, they're all great.
Honestly, I think it's Richard.
Richard, it's between him and Walt. I love Michael Shannon.
Don Johnson in this just is on a whole other level.
I know.
Because he's not part of this family. He's an outsider.
Exactly.
So he's just like, oh, whatever. What's that? Well, fuck, that's weird. Like, he's just on, like, the outside looking in this whole time. It's weird.
Oh, my God.
Well, I love that scene where Ransom tells, he tells Joni, like, up your ass, like, out of nowhere. And then just tells them all to eat shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that shirt, like, just eat shit, eat shit, eat shit.
You should buy that.
Like 6 times.
It's a sign, Connor. You got to buy it. Despite the family's kindness to Martha the night prior at the party, they quickly turn on her, but Ransom helps her escape. Huh. This guy's not so bad, huh?
I love Linda's immediate, like, were you boinking my father?
Yeah.
They're all like, you little bitch. Like, they all just immediately turn into a bunch of jackals.
Oh, my God. Oh, so Ransom is like, all right, I'm going to play my cards here. He takes Martha. They go to a local restaurant, and Ransom coaxes Martha into telling him everything.
Yeah, he gives her a whole plate of beans.
Yeah.
And an empty bowl. What an asshole.
Dickhead.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, the family members realize that if Marta can be proven as the murderer, they will regain their inheritance right away. They're insist. They're
all trying to find a loophole to get the inheritance.
To get something back, a piece. So greedy.
Oh, that Frank Oz is the guy reading the will, too. Cool.
Yeah. Great touch. They insist that the murder investigation continue, and Blanc confirms his suspicion of foul play, adding that everyone is still a potential suspect. This leads to Marta receiving a ransom note reading, "I know what you did," along with a partial photocopy of Harlan's toxicology report.
Ooh.
Man, that's some tough stuff. Again, I remember watching this for the first time and being like, there's still like 40 minutes left, and I have no fucking clue how this is going to end.
It's funny how this plot synopsis really doesn't have a lot of Benoit Blanc.
It doesn't. This plot synopsis doesn't have a lot of the little dry humor, that's in there. That's really what makes this movie tick. And these synopsises on IMDb are they're very long, and they tell in detail what's happening action-wise. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of little things that aren't in here.
We try to fill in the gaps as best we can.
Yeah, and again, you need to see the film.
Yeah.
Before you listen to the
odds are, if you are listening to this, you've seen Knives Out, you like Knives Out, and you want to hear what we have to say about it.
Exactly.
So if we figure you've seen it, so that does our job for us.
Oh, man. So, Marta and Ransom, they drive up to the medical examiner's office only to find it up in flames and swarming with the police. Pretty frightening. It's almost like, wait, you're kind of with them at this point. Or at least I was. I'm with Marta, I'm like the whole time, and I'm like, all right, what the fuck is going on? This does not look like it's going to end very well for her. Nah.
At this point, you think, it is her fault.
Yeah.
And she's going to lose everything because of this. Her mother's going to... Walt even threatens to deport her mother.
I know. Oh, my God. Oh, man. At Ransom's insistence, Marta checks her email and finds an address and time. Blanc spots the pair before they engage in a car chase. Oh, man. Marta and Ransom are ultimately unable to evade their pursuers before Ransom is arrested. After Juanita, Harlan's mother, an elderly matriarch of the family, falsely identified Marta as him at the house. Whew. Bringing in... He said bringing in Harlan's mother here.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Who's another great performance.
Just
so subtle.
How old is she? We have no idea.
Are you leaving early? We have no idea. Oh, my God. Oh, so good. Marta drives to the address only to find Fran there, drugged.
Fran!
Fran's back. It's been a while since we mentioned him. Marta performs CPR on her, and calls the police phone line, ensuing that Fran gets to the hospital safely. On the drive back to the mansion, Marta reveals everything to Blanc, who discourages her from confessing to the whole family.
It's funny the angle Blanc takes with this.
Yeah.
He knows that the family are all horrible people.
Yes.
He knows Marta's a good person. So it's interesting. It reminded me of the end of Murder on the Orient Express when Poirot realizes they all... Oh, sorry to spoil this for you, but it's been out for like 100 years. Poirot realizes that everyone on the train was involved in killing Ratchet because he murdered the little girl. So they all were in on it. So Poirot makes up a fake story so they get away with it because he knows these are good people avenging better people.
Yeah.
This guy deserved it. It reminded me a lot of that. Benoit Blanc definitely has a lot of Poirot
For sure.
in him.
For sure. Definitely influenced by that character. Yeah. No doubt. On the drive back to the mansion, Martha reveals everything to Blanc, who discourages her from confessing. However, Blanc tells her to stop at the last minute when he spots something in a copy of the full toxology report that Fran had hidden away. Man, stellar.
So that one little bit, like, stop!
Thrilling. Those are thrilling moments in movies, yeah. Just a document, Wait a minute! The police bring Ransom to the house and place him in a private room where Blanc and Martha are waiting. Blanc reveals that he deduced the murder and goes on to reveal what he really knows. The night of the party, Ransom stormed out after discovering Martha's inheritance from Harlan and decided to frame her for his murder. Ransom swapped the contents of the medication vials and removed the emergency morphine counter agent, ensuring the morphine overdose. Man, just brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Brilliant way to kill somebody, though, gotta say.
Yeah. Steve Rogers, man. Ransom then swapped the vials back while the rest of the family was at Harlan's funeral. God, piece of shit, man. It's just crazy. Fran saw Ransom in Harlan's study that day and deduced his involvement in Harlan's death, prompting her to send him the ransom letter, which Ransom then sent to Martha after cutting out the address. Ransom then burnt down the medical examiner's office to ensure Harlan's blood work was destroyed. God, it's really crazy when you read it.
Yeah, man.
It really is.
It's intense.
Ransom's original copy of the toxology report and emailing Martha Fran's location in the hopes of fooling the police into believing Martha had murdered Fran. God. Blanc then reveals that the toxology report shows that Harlan wasn't poisoned at all and that Martha had instinctively given Harlan the correct medication. But noticing the mislabeling, didn't know. Oh, man.
It hurt. He killed himself for nothing.
This movie for nothing.
Well, I love when Harlan does think he's been poisoned, when he does think he's overdosing on morphine, his reaction is, this would be kind of a brilliant way to kill somebody. And he opens his notebook and he starts making a note of it for like his next story.
Yeah.
And then he starts realizing like, oh, she doesn't have the stuff.
I'm going to die.
I'm going to die. All right.
And she's going to get in trouble for it.
It's all so quick. Like he has no regard for his own life. It's man, such a good dude.
Crazy, man. So then Martha receives a call from the hospital and says that Fran is alive, forcing Ransom to admit his crimes before angrily vowing revenge and legal recourse on Martha. Man, at the last moment, Martha vomits on Ransom, revealing that she had lied and that Fran actually died.
Oh, that was so gross.
At the hospital. It really was. That was disgusting.
But, he tried to take her out with that fake knife.
Exactly. Bastard. Oh, man. Enraged that he had been tricked into admitting murder and arson, Ransom attempts to stab Martha, but the knife turns out to be one of Harlan's many props. He is then taken into police custody while the rest of the family watches in disgust. As Ransom is taken away, the remaining Thornbay family look up at the mansion's balcony to see Martha sipping from Harlan's signature coffee cup with the label, "My house, my rules, my coffee."
Fuck yes! So satisfying.
Incredible ending.
All those assholes are now destitute out on the street where they deserve to be.
Perfect.
I love it.
Awesome movie. It's close to a 10. I give it a 9. It's close, man. 2019 was a wicked good year, and Knives Out is right up there with it, It's an awesome film.
For sure. It was nominated for one Oscar for Best Original Screenplay.
Rightly so.
Which, unfortunately, it lost to Parasite.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
It's a great script.
In a weaker year, it could have had a chance. But
yes.
Nah, man.
It could have had a chance for more stuff. I actually think Ana de Armas should have been nominated.
Oh, she was fantastic.
I think it's like a damn shame. I think that's a damn shame.
I give this film an 8. I love it. couple more viewings, it'll probably go up. It's just a very enjoyable film.
It's so good, man. Yeah, like you said, rewatchable as hell.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna watch it.
A big problem with whodunits is, once you know who done it, film loses some punch. I don't think this is not in this case.
No, not in this case, because
there's so many little teases at what's really going on.
It is quite confusing at times, and with that sheer amount of characters, it can't get old.
Very true.
It can't get old, and I'm keen on rewatching it, like in a certain perspectives. Like really try to figure different stuff out. Watch every move Martha makes. Stuff like that. It's one of those films, I think. Like you said, kind of like Usual Suspects. Those classic whodunit, but I can keep watching it.
Well, like when Harlan's talking about his family, acting like leeches, like, waiting for him to die, wanting their money, and that he had to cut them off. He says something about, like, eventually you can never tell the difference between a real knife and a prop.
Yeah.
Such a big tease, but you never knew when that tease was going to pay off. I thought that meant he didn't really kill himself.
Yeah.
But in reality, that meant fake knives downstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, stuff like that.
Incredible.
I think Rian Johnson also did Looper.
Yeah, I like Looper.
Looper's a good movie. Another one that's a little tough to follow at times.
Mm-hmm.
Loses a bit of punch on. It's a little forgettable, honestly.
Yeah. I remember I saw it in theaters and that's it. I haven't seen it since, so maybe I should rewatch it to really say. I remember liking it.
Yeah,
and I remember really liking Joseph Gordon-Levitt's performance in it.
Oh yeah, definitely one of Bruce Willis's best in a while. He does.
Yeah, of the past decade, I'd say definitely one of the better ones.
Dude, he phones it in every time.
Yeah, doesn't it seem like he's always like just driving like a, what's his name? It was on a podcast. Adam Carolla said. Adam Carolla was like, Bruce Willis is always in like a white Bronco just driving from some post-apocalyptic bullshit, It's true. It's like always that,
Oh.
But then when I think you'd really like him in Moonrise Kingdom. He's so different in that Wes Anderson's film.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, you didn't know he's in that?
No.
Oh. Hear me out. Bruce Willis, Edward Norton, Frances McDormand. Come on. Bill Murray, that movie's crazy, dude. Moonrise Kingdom's awesome. You would love, yeah.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is in it. That's when I remember when that happened. I was like 17 when that came out. Yeah, 2012. I remember when that came out, and I remember seeing that cast, and I was like, all right, this Wes Anderson guy clearly has like something going on, because these people, he gets crazy ensembles every fucking time, And that was when I really started paying attention to him, was that movie.
Right on.
You would love it, yeah, Bruce Willis.
I was really hoping Bruce Willis was going to bring his A game for Glass.
I know.
That movie, I liked it, but I should have loved it.
Something missing.
Oh, man.
Something
We waited
missing.
19 years for
Yeah.
a sequel to Unbreakable.
Yeah.
It should have been better. But we'll do that. That's also in the book.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
We'll do the Unbreakable split trilogy.
Definitely in the book.
But Knives Out was great. We love it. And
It's a perfect Friday bonus. Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. It's a really fun movie, even if you know what's going to happen. This Sunday, we're going to have a look back on the road to El Dorado.
That's going to be great.
Really funny movie. And then next Wednesday, we're doing Exorcist 2.
Back at it with the horror, baby.
And I can't believe we're doing Exorcist 2 so soon after the first
I know.
one. It was completely random.
I know.
And that's why we love the book.
Yeah.
We never know.
The book has spoken.
Damn straight. Well, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this, and we will catch you on Sunday.
Yeah, you guys be safe out there. Have a good weekend.